next portion of the training is the hiring process. The hiring process includes interviewing guidelines, reference checks, internal candidate reference checks, the reference check form, notify human resources of the hiring decision, initiate pre-employment checks, and send the job offer letter. Under the interview guidelines, Taylor Ambulance will use a job-related questionnaire to give to the applicants for applying for the position. We'll utilize an introductory and welcoming remarks of the applicant, and we'll put them at ease in a more relaxed state. An open-ended questioning technique will be used that will require essay answers and descriptions rather than a simple yes or no question. Examples would be to use a typical work-related situation where the applicant would have to react in and be evaluated in a stressful situation versus asking the question, how do you handle stressful situations? If the question is not related to performance of the job, it's just simply that we shouldn't ask it at Taylor Ambulance Company. When it comes to the reference checks at Taylor Ambulance, we have a policy in place that requires background checks on all of our applicants prior to extending an offer of employment. We have recruiting advisors available to provide hiring managers guidance in obtaining references. We also offer internal candidate reference checks for those who are hiring within the company. The reference check form, applicants will be required to complete a reference check form that will allow Taylor Ambulance the permissions required to proceed with the background and the reference checks. We notify human resources of the hiring decision upon selection of a candidate. The hiring manager has the responsibility of informing the recruiting advisor prior to making an offer of employment. This step will ensure that Taylor Ambulance Company application is on file and details such as the starting date, eligibility of benefits, moving expenses, salary, and so forth, and other pertinent issues are finalized prior to the employment. We also initiate pre-employment checks. After finalizing the offer of employment, the employment offer must be contingent on the candidate successfully completing several pre-employment checks such as drug screening, background checks, and reference check, just to name a few. Then, after all that's complete, we'll send a job offer letter out. An offer letter is sent out to the candidate upon acceptance of the offer. The Human Resource Officer outlines details of the offer to include pre-employment, drug testing, and a start date, and the salary details. And that would be the conclusion portion of the hiring process of our training product. Thank you.